I'm going to attempt to start a postcard reselling business with pretty much no knowledge of postcards or experience collecting them at all. I've never had a traditional 9 to 5 job. The majority of my income comes from my audiobook production company and voiceover work that I do. This is why I'm recording in here. This is my voiceover booth. I don't really have any other space to record these videos, but I've decided to focus my voiceover business more on bringing in royalties rather than working job to job, bringing in income per project that I complete. And the reason for that is what we would all like, which is to have some more freedom and have passive income coming in rather than worrying about when's my next job going to come from, having to constantly audition and try and find work. And also, there are times like right now, my voice is a little bit scratchy, which may not sound like a big deal, but when you're a voiceover artist, your scratchy voice can cause you to not be able to work for a few days, sometimes even a few weeks if you get a cold and your nose is stuffy. So I really want to have the passive income so that I don't really have to worry about that anymore. I can be a lot more relaxed in whenever I complete jobs and know that income is still going to be flowing. But in order to have the amount of royalties come in that I need from my little production company, it's very, very small, it's just me, I need to be able to expand the company and start hiring more narrators and bringing in more royalties and getting more books. And I don't bring in enough money right now to be able to do that. So I need to find some other source of income that will allow me not only to have a little bit more freedom to focus on the royalty side of the audiobook company and less on the day-to-day job, but also allow me to expand in that way. So I've actually sold on eBay in the past, years ago before I started doing voiceover, and it was a pretty good little side hustle. I've had the store for several years, and so I do have some experience there, and I thought that could be a really good place to start. But the problem with eBay has always been sourcing things to sell. A lot of people, they go to the thrift stores, they go to Goodwill, they go to these different places, but you have to constantly be looking for different things. I know people who do dumpster diving, and there's all kinds of ways that people bring in that kind of income. But the problem is it isn't stable. You don't know if you're going to be able to bring something in. You may go out and spend an entire day thrifting and not find anything. So I started researching and I was trying to find something that was easy and consistent to source, that wouldn't cost tons and tons of money to start with, to some sort of smaller investment, and also something that wouldn't take up a lot of space, so it wouldn't take up my whole house. I don't have a very big house, and also something that would have some pretty decent profit margins. And so about 3 weeks ago, like I said, I have almost no experience in postcards. About 3 weeks ago, I was just doing research, trying to find what that thing could be, and I discovered postcards. I was looking on YouTube and I just was searching videos for small things to sell on eBay. And I saw this video that came up from this channel called Mailseum, which is where I'm learning a lot of stuff from. The guy was talking about postcards and the profit margins seemed really good. They take up almost no space. You can have thousands of them and they barely take up any space. And so I decided that I was just gonna go for it. And postcards, which I have no idea where to start, is what I decided to launch. So over the last 3 weeks, my family and we drove from Pennsylvania, where I live, to California for an event for my son. It was a 5-day drive, and we stopped in all kinds of antique stores. Every town we stopped in, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for postcards. I was looking on eBay and trying to find different lots that I could buy. One thing I learned is it's not a great idea to buy just generic lots on eBay because people who are selling postcards will take out the best cards and just sell sort of the not very good stuff. So I think I only bought like one lot on eBay, but it was a lot of like cards, which the guy from the channel Popeye's Postcards, he talks about how good like vehicles can be. So I bought a lot of, I think it was like 300 old cars, postcards. But anyway, over the last 3 weeks, I have either ordered or picked up about 2,000 postcards to start off. Now, what I want to do, the reason for this video, the reason for this whole endeavor of chronicling the way this business goes is because I just thought it would be interesting for people to see. Like, I have no idea if this is going to be successful. I have no idea if anyone's even going to watch these videos. I don't know if any of these postcards are going to sell. But what I am hoping to show, I'm hoping that it's successful, and I am hoping that I will be able to show how anyone, including yourself, anyone watching these videos or not watching these videos, can actually start with very little income and build a legitimate business that could actually replace your income. Like I said, I've never had a traditional 9-to-5 job. I've always had side businesses. I've always worked from home. I lived overseas for about 15 years and always had different sources of income. I've done all kinds of things. Voiceover is a thing I found that was really, really solid. And eBay is also pretty good too. So I'm hoping to show how this works and what we're capable of. And so, to give you just a rundown of where I'm starting at, right? Like I said, I just learned about postcards 3 weeks ago. I have very little knowledge. The one thing I learned, let me see if we can find this here. I'm still like, there's the different sizes, which I know that there's like the traditional sizes. I think this is standard size. The one thing I was able to nail down, if I can find it, is what a linen card is. Yeah, here's a linen card, which if you're watching this, you may already know this. If you clicked on a video about postcards, you probably already know this. But a linen card, I had no idea. It has like this, it's like rougher. It feels like almost like a cloth kind of thing. So anyway, I picked up these cards from all these different places, and I don't know if these are valuable at all, but I got some pretty cool postcards. My family and I, we stopped at the house where Jesse James was killed by the coward Robert Ford. And so we were able to, these are new, these aren't vintage, but we were able to get these really cool postcards from the Jesse James shop. There's some really cool ones that I'm really excited about. They may not sell, I don't know. I know the vintage ones are obviously going to be the most valuable, and I do have a lot of vintage ones. They haven't been delivered because I was traveling. The ones that I ordered online, there was one guy that I ordered from Facebook Marketplace. I asked him to ship it here, but because I wasn't home, I had him ship it to a friend of mine in town who I just got back from California yesterday. So I'm exhausted still. It's a 5-day drive. Absolutely exhausted. I haven't seen my friend. These are all that I have on hand, but I'm hoping tomorrow to go pick up the rest that have arrived. Now, we also went to the Pony Express, which was really, really cool. And so we got these Pony Express postcards. Again, these are like brand new. These aren't vintage. But I tried to get some stuff that was cool. And then I got a lot of vintage cards as well. Some of them may not be worth much. It's really hard whenever I'm watching some of these people, like the guy from Mailseum and the guy from Popeye's Postcards, because these guys will like look at 2 cards and it'll be like, to me, it looks like the same 2 cards of just like a generic river. And they'll be like, oh, this one is worth $4.99 and the other one is worth $20, and I can't tell the difference. So this is all stuff that I'm going to be learning as I go. Hopefully you'll follow me on this journey and you'll learn with me. And to tell you where I'm starting out, so I have invested between the roughly 2,000 postcards, I bought like 3,000 sleeves, 500 cardboard mailers. I bought all the supplies. I have not bought a scanner, which a lot of people say you should use a scanner because it's a lot faster to scan postcards, but they cost like $400 or $500. I could not find any used. I tried looking. I looked in every city I went to. I could not find one. I bought one, and it was so old it didn't even work with my computer. I don't have that. If this works at all, then I'll buy a scanner soon. But for now, my wife and I are going to be taking pictures. And so I have invested about $750 to start out. So I've spent between $0.25 and 50 cents per card. The first few days when I was going to antique shops, I bought a lot of cards for $1 up to $2 because I didn't know what I was doing, and they looked old, and so I just bought them. But then as the days went by and I was watching, I'm a researcher. That's one reason why I've been able to have some success, is because I spend a lot of time researching things. And I heard all these guys talking about getting these for cheaper, and so if you buy them in bulk. So I started buying bigger lots, and I was able to get them for cheaper. Now my goal to start is by September to have $1,000 net coming in every single month. So to net that with taxes and all that kind of stuff, I estimate I need about $1,500 a month in gross sales. So in selling postcards, probably about $1,500 a month in order to get $1,000 net. Now, I do have one really key advantage, which is why I think I'll be able to reach $1,000 a month by September. If I had a brand new store that had zero sales, I would say that's pretty unlikely. But because I have this old eBay store that I've had for since 2006, and I used to sell jewelry on there, sterling silver jewelry. I stopped because it's so hard to source and there's so much competition on eBay. People with connections that I've never been able to build are able to buy thousands of pieces of jewelry for nothing, and they're always able to sell it for less than I could ever sell. So it wasn't very good for sourcing, and the profit margins were pretty thin. But I had that store for a long time, and I sold all kinds of other antiques and vintage stuff over the years. And so I have this store that has thousands of 5-star reviews on it. So because of that, I believe I can start posting cards today, and people will see all of these 5-star reviews from the past and are more likely to buy, because if we know anything on eBay, the more reviews you have, just like on anything, the more people are likely to trust you. I've built a lot of trust over the years. So I believe that I can do it. By the end of the year, I would love to see $2,000 a month coming in, but we'll see how that goes. I have not posted a single card on eBay yet. I'm going to start in the next couple days. I got to recover a little bit from my trip. I got to go get all my cards and supplies from my friend, and then I'm going to start. I will be posting to kind of show some updates. My goal is at least once a week, maybe more, post videos showing how the business is growing, what I'm learning, and kind of have it almost be kind of a vlog in a sense. Although I'm also hoping to share some business things that I learn, and maybe even some voiceover stuff if anyone is interested. And I might even talk a little bit about how the voiceover business is growing as the postcard business grows as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.